Hey guys, welcome back to a new video where today I'm doing another movie review. Yeah, it's crazy. It's been a while. The last one was like in October, or kind of at the end of October, so you could make an argument that it's more November. But still, it's been a very long time. I was going to do one for Wonder Woman 1984, but then I got a little bit busy, and by the time I started editing the video, I was like, this isn't really worth it, and it's not that popular anymore. I know that's kind of contradictory coming from me, but still. Um, so yeah, I'm doing a movie review. What movie am I reviewing? Well, if you read the title, you would have known it's The Mitchells versus the Machines. This film was produced by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who directed my favorite animated movie of all time, Spider-Man Spider-Verse. I got a t-shirt based on it. But yeah, so I was fairly hyped. I'd seen the trailers back when it was renamed to Connected, only to be renamed to its original title, which in my opinion is just an all-around better title. But yeah, I was decently hyped for it, and I was surprised because I wasn't actually expecting it to like it this much. So yeah, I thought, I'd like this movie. I'd like to talk about it. So I decided to do a movie review on it. So I'm gonna go over what I liked about the film, what I didn't like about the film, which will come up to my conclusion where I'll give my final rating of the film. Sound simple enough? Then let's get to it. So in The Mitchells vs. the Machines, we follow Katie Mitchell, a teenager who has a passion for filmmaking and makes her own movies in her free time. She gets enrolled for film school as she decides to leave a family that she doesn't really get along with except for her brother and dog. But her dad decides to take a family road trip to film school, hoping that they can bond together before she leaves. Things get even more complicated when a giant corporation creates robots that eventually lead to an apocalypse as the machines take over. The Michelles somehow survive this and now have to save the human race from extinction. Now, doesn't that sound fantastic? So, just to start off with, the cast in here is really good. I couldn't imagine any other people who could have cast differently. The only one I could kind of see differently is Aaron Mitchell, because that is a deep voice for a little kid, but still, it kind of works in this universe because it's like kind of just a cartoony world, and it kind of just suits that cartoony atmosphere. But yeah, Abby Jacobson does a great job as Katie Mitchell. Danny McBride is so good as the dad, Rick Mitchell, and Maya Rudolph, I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right, does a great job as the mum, Linda Mitchell. I have the names up if you can't tell. Olivia Colman plays a phone, but it's still a really good performance. And yeah, everyone just does a fantastic job. And they suit their characters very well. So moving on from that, let's talk about the animation style. Now, the animation is fantastic. It kind of I remember watching this, and my mom saw me watching this, and she said the animation reminded her of Cloudy and the Chance of Meatballs, which ironically is another film by Phil Lord and Chris Miller. And yeah, it kind of does have that feel, but it's just better. It kind of does this Spider-Man Spider-Verse thing where it looks 3D, but it's also got some 2D elements to it, like some hand-drawn elements to it. And that's nice, because I really like the animation style in Spider-Verse, because it gave that comic book feel, but I like it here because it gives off this cartoony feel, and yeah, it just looks really smooth and crisp. And I can't really think of any moments where it felt clunky or it looks rushed or unfinished. No, it looks finished, which makes sense since this was delayed like about a year, so it'd be weird if it wasn't finished. But still, like, it just looks good. And what's great about the movie is it's not directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, and they're just producers. They didn't do anything else but produce it, from what I've known. But yet it feels so much like they did make it. Like, it has, when it comes to animation, as I mentioned, it has that Spider-Verse tone where it's a mix of 2D and 3D, and this kind of fresh new style. And with for example, while watching the movie, I can remember a part of the movie, or multiple parts actually, where I thought that kind of reminds me of the Lego Movie, which was a film that they directed, or at least made. I don't know if they directed it, but I'm pretty sure they did. But still, yeah. So it's not really, it's not full on Phil Lord and Chris Miller, but it feels very much like it is. So, and honestly, I liked all Phil Lord and Chris Miller films from what I've seen. I haven't seen the 21 or 22 Jump Street. I hear they're good, but I just haven't seen them. And I'm pretty sure there's another movie by them I haven't seen, but point is, they're good, they're good filmmakers. And yeah, so to see their influence across this film that isn't actually theirs, but yeah, it feels like theirs, it's kind of fun. And on the topic of fun, this movie is just really funny. I remember laughing out loud multiple times during the movie. Seriously, this film is hilarious. It kind of reminds me of Spider-Verse, how it's really funny, but it also has an emotional center to it. The main takeaway of this is watch Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse, but still, it just has that flair to it, and yeah. I swear, I'm pretty sure anyone can find one joke in here that they like anyone. That's probably an exaggeration, but at the same time, it's not. It's kind of weird. Anyways, yeah, this movie's just really fun and really funny, and I had a great time watching it. But of course, this is all my positives with the movie. It's great, I would highly recommend it. But let's get on to the negatives. And just to start off with the negatives, there is none. Yeah, I don't really have any problems with this movie. It's kind of weird. I just I can't. I'm trying to find something that I didn't like in the movie, but I can't really find anything. And look, I'm not saying this film is perfect. No film is perfect. Just because in my vision, a perfect film is not a film that has no flaws or doesn't have a plot hole. A perfect film is a film everyone can enjoy, and I will know for a fact that that film will never exist because people have different opinions. So there'll at least be one person who doesn't like a film, even if it's heavily praised. In fact, there's a lot of people who hate films because they're heavily praised. And yeah, so not a perfect film because there's no such thing. But I can't find a problem with the movie. And that's kind of weird because I can often, even with Spider-Verse, my favorite animated movie of all time, I can see problems. But with this film, I can't. And yeah, I still see Spider-Verse as a different movie. It's just kind of weird. But yeah, I guess that wraps up the review pretty nicely. A lot of greats and basically no negatives because I don't really have any problems with this movie. Would highly recommend this movie to anyone. Not even if you're if you feel Phil Lord and Chris Miller movies, you'll like this, or if you like animated movies, you'll like this. No, I'd recommend this movie to anyone because yeah, it's just kind of really well made and really put together, and it's on Netflix, so majority of people who watch movies will probably have a chance to watch it because everyone owns Netflix these days. And yeah, um, I guess I'll give the Mitchells versus the Machines a 9 out of 10. The bar has been set for a lot of 2021 movies. I don't, I, if, yeah, basically, this will be on my top 10. Just for 2021 movies, this will be on my top 10. If it isn't, then I am so excited for the rest of the movies for this year. Um, will it be number one? Who knows, to be honest. But, yeah, if you enjoy this video, if you want to see more, then check out my other videos if you want. If you like them, subscribe for new videos. I don't I don't really have an upload schedule because I'll like do a video every week on Friday, but then I'll just like miss one and I'll miss some others because like something happens or I can't be bothered. I have a whole video that basically explains why I don't um, like why I don't upload sometimes. But other than that, like the video if you liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.